really love Raised by Wolves, and in the last video we talked about the snake weird creatures look like the skeletons of some creature from out of Monster Hunter. In this video we're going to be talking about the humanoid aliens that we also discussed in another video. There are a few things I wanted to note about this strange creature. We get to see it more up close in the episode 4 of season 1. Is it just me, or do those things sound like a velociraptor from Jurassic Park?
Champion, stop!
I'm setting it free. I won't let you do it.
Yes, you've changed my mind. You're going to do it.
Oh no!
This episode, I'm not gonna lie, the kids were so freaking annoying. And the worst character out of all the kids, the really spoiled bougie one, that was the one I actually agreed with most in this episode. They're eating the humanoid alien thingy, and I'm only calling it an alien because it's not from Earth. It's, yeah, native to that planet, but it's an alien to us. You know exactly what I mean. Don't get smart. And Tempest and Campion and his friend are now acting so freaking snobby, which is so interesting coming from them. And then they get a reality check, which I'm sure they're not going to adhere to.
Which part is the baby?
I don't think they cooked the fetus.
I highly doubt they wasted it.
Mother said she buried it.
Sure she did. She's gonna let valuable proteins go to waste because of your feelings.
Poor father can't catch a break. He's doing everything he can in his power to help these kids because he's being the most logical, knowing that they're going to need to hunt for their own food. Unless they find another plant source that's prolific and that can last for all of them, they're going to have to eat meat or something with more caloric value. It's so freaking obvious. It's kind of crazy how they don't understand that. It's even more crazy is the fact that Mother doesn't seem to understand that.
Now, grip this tightly, and when you're ready, jam the spear into the creature's flesh. Then repeat the action until it dies.
This dude has been doing everything in his power to protect these children and also to prepare them for life after he and Mother are gone. Mother seems to have lost sight of that and is just stuck in her present. It is her programming to protect the children as long as they live, but she doesn't expect they're gonna grow up and she's not gonna be around all the time. Okay, enough about that rant. But anyways, something that we noted in this episode is that these creatures, while they can be quite aggressive, they don't necessarily want to hunt for the humans. I don't think that that's actually what they eat, being as they are eating fungi and they seem more so human themselves. We can see a segment in the episode when Campion and the other kid throw a rock trying to hunt for the humanoid creatures, and it just looks at them like, what do you want? Ugh, stupid kids. And continues doing what it's doing. That doesn't explain while the other creatures were trying to kidnap those children, and it seems as though they were only going after Tempest. Because she was pregnant. Notice they weren't going after the other kids, they just locked on to her and her baby, and you're like, whoa, why? I mean, we don't know what they would have done if they caught up to her, but I found it kind of peculiar, and some of you even pointed that out, that they just were going after Tempest. She's the only pregnant one there. Also, it's totally possible that Tally might be alive and these things helped raise her if that's the case, because we see a little nest in one of the pits where those creatures obviously come from. We see them going down there and they came up from there, and they're nocturnal, so those pits must be a way into their home or where they keep shelter. Maybe they're like little holes along the sides of the walls.
Champion!
Father even made a comment that it's a good thing that you're not intelligent, and usually when people say stuff like that, characters in a movie or episodes, it usually means that what they're talking about is in fact intelligent and they're just missing the entire picture. That brings us to the ethical portion of the morality of hunting these creatures. Yes, you do get more of nice pork meat, that's a great caloric intake for you, but do you, on the brink of starvation, just eat little plants and hope you can survive long periods of time? Or do you eat these things? Well, I understand Father's need to actually keep this thing around and then feed the children, because immediately there's nothing for them to eat. So in his logical brain, he's probably thinking, okay, I can study this thing, or I can fix the problem of the kids starving right now and then catch one later and study that one. Or just breed those things together, because we don't know how long their gestation is either. What if they're like humans and it's 9 months and you're gonna kill off your source of food and then it's not gonna matter, you're gonna end up starving anyway. Campion actually did something very wise, and he looked at what these creatures were eating, because usually if you want to find out how to survive survive on a planet or a new place that you've never been to before, always look at what the native wildlife is eating. It's just 101. I mean, it's weird how father didn't put that together because, you know, but plot. The mother just seemed very aggressive, but of course, they just captured her, took her away from her family and locked her up in that little hut, and she's pregnant. Of course, she's gonna be really pissed and scared and mad, and I just feel bad seeing her just slink there because we haven't really seen them kill anything. We don't even know if these things kill anything. The only other thing we've seen them actually eating and harvesting are those fungi. There's probably even more of it where they came from, and that little one that we saw scouting near that area, maybe this is part of his territory, or maybe he's one of the exiles that's not allowed to eat with all the others, where there is an abundance of the substance. I don't know why these creatures barely have any meat on them. It could be that that's just the way they look. It's possible, since there are many other creatures that are just gangly by nature. Doesn't matter how much you feed them. Well, of course, if you overfeed them, they're gonna look like that. Baboons look like that. But you also have to figure these creatures have to probably survive on very low calories because it's just the environment that they're in. It also makes sense because they can't exactly be freaking obese if they're gonna be climbing up walls and stuff. They're gonna fall to their death because they weigh an extra 200 pounds. That's not gonna be a good way for them to survive. Looking even closer at these creatures, they really do look human. I keep expressing that because that is so obvious. 5 fingers, 5 toes, metatarsals that look very human-like. I mean, aside from their heads and the fact that they walk on all fours, they still have the proportions of a regular human being with the exception of their tail. So I'd like to learn more about these creatures, to be honest. It looks really, really fun. I love learning about new monsters. It was just so annoying to watch this episode because father was doing everything right and mother and the kids were turning against him, which made no sense. I know as time goes on, we're going to be learning more about these monsters, and I'm excited to see because they're not the only wildlife on this planet. I'm pretty sure we're going to get more. We're going to see those snake things. They probably hide from those snake things, which is, I'm sure, going to be explored later on, as I just said. Anyways, what do you guys think about these creatures? What do you think their social life is like? What do you think would have happened if they kept that creature? Would she have eventually become tame? Do you think they're a lot more intelligent than we give them credit for? Like more intelligent than a dog or a horse? Do you think they can actually be as intelligent as humans? And why do you think that one creature that was harvesting the fungus didn't attack the kids when they attacked him first? Thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.